So I haven't done that much in the sketchbook since the last time I sort of videoed through it. But so the last video took a lot of this stuff and I explained it and talked about it, and I'll show a little bit more. I think I was last here. No, this was the last page of the last time. And so I'll go through some of the newer stuff and catch up. So this was, oh gosh, look at all the pencil that kind of like rubbed through from this image. I used to do all these room drawings. I don't do them much anymore, but this is one just because I wanted to doodle for fun. Let's see, there's lawnmower with jarts, barbecue, hot tub. It doesn't look like it's very stable up there. Car, tree bowl, little boat and game room and a mattress room, center bathroom, looks like a waiting room outside the game room with a phone on the wall, and yada 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 yada. So yeah, just doodling around, more doodling around with a guy drinking haggis or something, I don't know. More playing around with hair, and these are all graphite drawings. Trying to figure out, oh, my friend has a bunch of beehives on his roof at his house in Minneapolis, so I was doing some logo. I started animating for sort of a job, and so that's one of the problems with keeping a sketchbook is I don't draw as much as I used to because I'm doing so much other animation stuff. But I'm still working on some of the botanical flowers, and so a lot of these flowers, they start here in the sketchbook. This is from last February, and they work their way into other larger drawings that I'll show you in a bit. Sort of bee studies. So what I've been doing lately is, so I'll take these sketches and then I'll sort of scan them in and then rearrange them in Photoshop, and then collage other sketches like these together to make new compositions from my sketchbook, and then I redraw them larger in pen and ink, which, oh, this is some weird lemon, what is that? That's a Buddha's hand, citrus medica. I saw this at the grocery store and I had to draw it. It's like super brightly colored, and I'm still doing a lot of boner beds. But so one of the reasons I'm not drawing in the sketchbook as much, which sort of saddens me a little, is because I got an iPad Pro and I've been learning to draw on that just to see where that takes me. I think I had a really bad cold when I drew this. Anyway, you'll see these in a minute when versions of these that I redrew into larger compositions. More of the internal body stuff, trying to just mess around with figuring out what's inside the human body incorrectly, because it's sort of more entertaining that way to me. What does that say? Slap flapper, jelly ring around the bone. That's the gish, that's the scapula stink tendrils. Oh, I think I just figured out labels after I drew it. You can read these. So yeah, continue with the boner beds. Sitting on the subway, eating peanut butter and jelly and fanning your banana penis. This turned into a big drawing. This is from Greenwood Cemetery. I like to draw from life sometimes when I get the time to do it. So I did a couple of Greenwood Cemetery drawings. I live really close to it in Brooklyn. It's this old historic, I think it started in the 18th century, and some really cool old stuff inside there. You can walk around. thwappy yoga pose. Oh, this is cool. So I did this sketch and then eyeball balls. I got a email from a friend who used to do the kids book imprint at McSweeney's, and oh, more balls, eyeball balls, and asked me to do something that's coming out, I think, this month, of a guts drawing from McSweeney's. More Froggy Wrong Bones, another version. I think is this the first version? I don't remember. I've been doing a bunch of these that ended up in larger drawings. This one has not ended up yet. This is a little too goofy. It was too much straight out of my head and not enough reference from other actual plants. That looks so gross, right? But it's a straight up orchid. I think that's from the orchid show at I want to say the Bronx Botanic Garden had an orchid show. Do I date that? I guess it was in spring. Oh, here's some more Froggy Wrong Bones. Putting human skeleton and just, I don't know, it's kind of fun to do it incorrectly. I think this is from a chrysanthemum at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden. Oh no, it's a jasmine peony. Another quick little sketch down. I got a job down by the financial district, and I went there a little bit early last spring, and I did some sketching, some more flowers and parts of flowers, and kind of taking out the grossest part of a flower and extrapolating from that. I like to draw one thing and then redraw it a million times and grossing it up a little bit. Another quick sketch from these are kind of bad, but from the Greenwood Cemetery. Yeah, this one's a little better. Oh, here's I'm actually working on this one. Oh, here, check this out. So this is how it starts in my sketchbook, and I'm currently working on a large version there that I recomposed with another drawing. Oh, okay, so check this out. I think that was from, so I took that frog drawing and then this drawing of Mrs. Rob's bonnet from the Brooklyn Botanic Garden and repurposed it into that drawing, and I've just started inking that one. Yeah. Let's see. We've got so that, and I just started one of this as the main composition of a mausoleum from the Greenwood Cemetery, and this is I just did in June. This is from a camping trip, a bunch of frogs in the water. I like the way that tree is kind of a cloud tree thing. I put that in a new composition I'm working in now. More big dick stuff. And the last one, and now I'm just kind of, unfortunately, I feel so bad, but I'm just doing iPad drawing right now, which I'll post some of those after this. But for now, so this is me. That was where I was just filming that little stand, but this is me with some of the newer drawings that I'm working on that came from the sketchbook. So these are all pen and ink drawings. The ink is super nice and super black and dark, and it's a nice contrast with the white paper. Super graphic. It looks like a print, but it's a drawing. And here's what one of the Froggy Wrong Bones turned into with some of the bee heads. So this landscape actually came from an early sketch that I did, and I had done this painting a while ago that found its way into here and sort of changed around a bunch. This one is Big Nose Bee on a flower. It's grossed up. That was fun to draw. I mean, it wasn't, but it was too. This was an earlier sketch here. It's a real graphic-y pen and ink tree that sort of found its way larger and with more detail here. Dirty socks. And turned. This is another one of those. Remember that guy in the subway with the fan blowing on his dick? This is that version with Charleston shoe arms, Twix forearms, boar's head bologna thighs, grape balls, raccoon penis bone. I forget the word for that. And socks, very fuzzy socks. This one was really drove me crazy because I used to use Fabriano watercolor paper for everything, Artistico, 140-pound hot press. And if you look closely, look at how sharp the ink line is here. It doesn't bleed into the paper. It's not supposed to. It's watercolor paper. It's sized externally and internally, so it doesn't bleed. This is the same paper, but it's a terrible batch. Look at those lines. It's terrible. Bleeds everywhere, and it drove me crazy. So I tried to make lemonade out of lemons and turn it into like a different kind of an ink drawing. So normally I'll go over the lines a million times to make them nice and black and thick. This are pretty much one simple line width for the whole thing, and it kind of turned into something new and different, which I like, but I would prefer not to have to do that because I spent so much time on the pencil drawing. I don't want to screw around with messed up paper. Anyway, this is an earlier wheel drawing that I redid larger and in pen and ink. I have a color version somewhere. You can see the lines are nice and sharp in there. And then this was one of the earlier flower drawings. I have two more of these going on right now. One of them is here that I just started inking. You can still see the pencil beneath the ink. I have to erase that pencil and then go over. See, this is Arches paper, so it's not going to bleed like that crappy Fabriano stuff. So it's kind of like a frog having an orgasm that's sort of melting into the flower, surrounded by Mrs. Rob's bonnet. And then, so this was from an iPad drawing that I printed out, I think 20 by 30 inches or so, just to see what would happen. And you can see how sharp it is. It was all done in vectors, which blew my mind. So I'm still sort of trying to learn how to use that. So it's essentially a photograph, and that's it for now.